A wee drinky poo. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Henry Higgins III and it's been a lot longer than I thought it was going to be between videos. Some things came up, lost my mojo a little bit, but we're now back in front of the camera. I'm hopefully trying to go and make this a more regular thing again. But I'm back in front of the camera just in time for spooky season to begin, which is the month of October, leading up to one of the best holidays of the year, Halloween. And what that means for me, among other things, obviously the trick-or-treating and the dressing up and the whole fandango of Halloween itself, is the lead up to the 31st of October, which is the Halloween movie marathon. And been doing it, and I've been doing the Halloween movie marathon for 8 years. This is my 8th year doing the Halloween movie marathon. And what it essentially entails, and I'm not the only one who does it, there's a lot of people, if you go on social medias, you'll see a lot of people partaking in Halloween movie marathons. But for those of you who are unaware, what it essentially means is it's one horror movie or horror adjacent movie per night between the 1st of October all the way up to the 31st of October, and it's 31 movies in 31 days. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to present to you my list, my schedule, my run for the Halloween Movie Marathon 2025. And there's some in here that are classics, some old classics, some instant classics, but there's quite a lot in here that I haven't seen. So there's a lot of first time watches, including, for the first time since I've been doing it as a formal thing, a cinema release. They've always been digital or DVD or VHS releases in years past, but this year with number 18, which you'll see when we go through the list, coming out in the cinemas in the month of October, I couldn't pass up the chance to have it on this list. So without any further ado, because I can feel myself rambling a little bit again, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the list quickly, one at a time, and I'm just going to go through the list to show you what films are on my movie marathon. If you have your own movie marathon, please leave some details in the comments. If you wish to partake in this movie marathon, by all means, take a screenshot of the calendar when it pops up and you'll see all the movies there. But as I said, I'm beginning to ramble, so let's get started with number 1. And on the first, we're going to be doing Predator. We're then going to follow that up on the second with Prey. So we're doing Predator, Prey double bill, which for me is the best in the series and the second best in the series. We're then sticking in that kind of shared universe on number 3 with Alien Romulus. Moving on to Army of the Dead. And my first watch of the list on Sunday the 6th is a movie called Sissy. Now, with the ones that are first watches, I'm trying to go into them as blind as possible. So all I've done is I've seen the poster, I had a look and see, did a list of what horror films are coming out, or had came out, sorry, in the last couple of years that I hadn't seen, and I was just looking at the posters, and Sissy was one of them. It stood out to me, the style of it, so that's on there. That's on the 5th of October, sorry, and on the 6th of October, we're back to some ones I have watched, which is No One Lives. Then another first time watch on the 7th with I Saw the TV Glow. I've heard a lot of great things about this. I've had people tell me that I need to watch it, so it's on the list this year. Following that, we've got The Invisible Man, the most recent version, and then a classic of mine that most people I speak to haven't seen. It's a Stephen King adaptation called The Dark Half. And when you watch the movie, if you haven't seen it before, you will see Stephen King puts himself allegorically or spiritually in his movies. With this one, he pretty much is the Richard Bachman thing. it's essentially him, no subtext, no real is it, could it be. It's definitely based on him doing some catharsis on himself. The next first watch is The First Omen, and then we're going on to a movie that I'd never heard of until a couple of weeks ago. I was watching a stream from Nikki Hurrah. Follow her on Twitch. You should too. She's fantastic, and she does a lot of there's anthropology stuff on her stream, and there was a thing on indigenous people, and this movie came up. It's called Blood Quantum, and the basic plot, and that's all I know of this, is that there's a zombie-like virus going around, and indigenous Native Americans, their blood is immune to it. I don't know anything else about it. I just think that sounds fascinating. Then we're going on to a movie I've seen about a dozen times. It was my movie of the decade for the 2010s. It's a movie called Upgrade, which is absolutely phenomenal. Then we're going on to the absolutely batshit crazy Malignant. The Stylist, which is a film I've seen a number of times. I reviewed it for the channel, so if you search The Stylist on the channel, you'll see my review of it. It's a fantastic low-budget horror movie that was an expansion of a short, and it's absolutely fantastic. Then we're going on to one which is kind of a cheat. It's not a movie, it's a special presentation, but it's absolutely fantastic and it fits the bill entirely. It's Marvel's Werewolf by Night. Then we're doing a triple bill of Cargill, C. Robert Cargill, and his association with Scott Derrickson is included in there as well. So we have The Gorge, The Black Phone, and then the cinema movie I mentioned earlier on the 18th, Black Phone 2. Now, The Gorge was a surprise. The trailer didn't give much away, which was fantastic. And there was a lot in it that just stood out, jumped out. And I'm looking forward to watching it again. I've not watched it for a while to see if I can pick up on things that I maybe missed, knowing what the twists are now. The Black Phone was a surprise hit. And I don't mean that because of its quality. I mean because it's a relatively small horror movie. It did fantastically well. And the sequel comes out on the weekend of the 18th. So I will be going to see it at the local cinema, the Gallery, on the 18th. And I'm very excited for that. I'm loving the Nightmare on Elm Street vibes of the trailer if you haven't seen it already. I was going to do a reaction to the trailer, but there was some issues with the recording, and I didn't want to then re-record it because I'm not reacting to it, then I already know what happens. So I did like a post-mortem on the trailer. That's on the channel as well. I'm liking where they're going with it. I'm liking what they're doing with it, and I'm excited to see it. Following that, we have Lisa Frankenstein, which I really enjoyed. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Then Totally Killer, which is a film I thought I had seen, but I haven't. So that's another first watch. Followed by Freaky, which again takes a common premise in fiction, the body swap, and it does a fantastic job of it. It's really funny. It's quite brutal as well, and it just all works out. It's a really great movie. After that, we have possibly the greatest movie of the year in Sinners. I've seen this 3 times now, and it has blown me away every time I've seen it. And there's one scene, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but there is one scene in the movie that comes out of nowhere, is a crazy artistic choice, and they absolutely nail it. And I don't know if it was done in one take, but it's shown as if it was shot in one take, and it is just astounding. So that is definitely one that if you haven't seen it, if you're going to watch any movie on this list, I'd recommend that is the one you start with. Following that, is a fantastic black comedy, no pun intended, horror movie called The Blackening. And it plays with the trope that in horror, it's kind of a cliche that the black character dies first. But in this, all of the protagonists are people of color or black. So it's how they go, who's going to die first, and they deal with it in such a fantastic way. Obviously, it's a comedy, but it is also a fantastic mirror on the real world. Then we have another first time watch, and I'm only picking this because of the name. It's the snakes on a plane situation all over again. It's called Big Freaking Rat. And any movie that's just going to call itself Big Freaking Rat is a horror movie that I want to see. Following that, we have a horror movie I went to watch with my son Josh, and we did a crash course on the lore before we went to see it, and it was a fantastic experience watching Five Nights at Freddy with Josh. He flipped the tables on when we would go and see like the superhero movies, and I would mark out at comic book references, like from like deep cuts. So that was his chance to like have that for him while I was accompanying him to the movies, and absolutely adored it. The sequel is coming out relatively soon, so I'm looking forward to that. And it was just a really fun teen horror movie. What isn't a teen horror movie is the next one, 26th of October, is another first time watch. It's Heretic, and I've heard only great things about it, especially with, I almost said Hugh Jackman there. What's his name? Hugh Grant. Jesus Christ. That took a fucking while to remember. Hugh Grant is apparently fantastic in it, and I'm really excited to see that. Following that, we have another absurd, cheesy horror comedy that plays into a fear that if you're old enough, you remember the Y2K bug, when we were told all of our electronics were going to come and destroy us at the stroke of midnight into the year 2000. An entire industry was built around it, and it didn't happen. So we do get that in this movie where electronics do go haywire and start attacking and killing people. Following that is another one I tried to go and see in the cinema, I just couldn't get to see it. And it's another first time watch. It's Heart Eyes, which again, I love the look of the killer in this one, and I've heard only good things about it. Cody Leach did a fantastic review on it. He was really high on it. So I'm quite excited to get into that one. And then we're going to round out the month with the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st being movies that I have seen and movies that I adore. And on the 29th, we've got Evil Dead Rise, the most recent of the Evil Dead movies. Fantastic companion piece to Evil Dead. And they are kind of spiritually linked to the original Sam Raimi trilogy while being their own thing. And Evil Dead Rise is the first in the modern day, because obviously Army of Darkness took you back in time. It's the first not set at the cabin in the woods situation. On the 30th, Halloween Eve, we've got Saw 2, which until Saw X, and even maybe arguably, I think it's still the best of all the Saw movies. Had the best traps, had the best setting, had arguably the best twist outside of the first movie's twist, which obviously set everything in motion. Jigsaw's amazing in it. Wahlberg's amazing in it. Just how everything works in it is fantastic. And not I've enjoyed all the Saw movies, but I definitely have Saw 2 in my top 3, if not my favourite. And yeah, I'm going to enjoy watching people get mutilated. And moving on from mutilation to our final movie in the countdown, in the run schedule, in the Halloween movie marathon 2025 is my favourite vampire movie. And that's saying a lot. Now, Blade 2 is definitely up there, and it's how you view, is Blade 2 a comic book movie with vampires, or is it a vampire movie in a comic book setting? But as a vampire movie, Daybreakers is just phenomenal. It's an underrated film. It's one that I don't think is enough love, and I'm excited to see it again on Halloween to round out the Halloween movie marathon 2025 for yours truly. And that's it. That is the Halloween Movie Marathon 2025 for me, Henry Higgins III. If you have your own, as I said, pop it in the comments below. Let us know what you're going to be watching. If you want to join along with this, please feel free to do so and let us know what you think of any of the movies that you hadn't seen that you end up seeing as we go through October. But that'll do us for this video. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Please like and share the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about it. You can keep up to date on all the future content. As I say, we are going to start ramping up the videos again. And as always, please look after yourselves. Look after each other. It's not the greatest place in the world out there for a lot of us at the moment. And as always, I wish you well. And I hope that you stay safe and that you stay awesome. Goodbye.